Yo, what is happening, YouTube guys? My name is Redhead, and today I just figured out something for Fnaf for the whole franchise. All right, this also might help us what's in that box, in the secret box in Fnaf 4. So let's get started. Okay, so Fnaf 4 takes place in 1983, right? Because that's the first in the timeline, as well as sister location, which is SL equals 1983. So that's these two. So, but this takes place a few months after Fnaf 4, which makes a lot of sense because of the Fredbear thing and Digger Room. That's about it. But yes, so plus you also type in 1983, so that's also a dead giveaway. And plus, okay, so. And then comes Fnaf 2, alright? And the other guys are like, so when does the murders take place? In the first location. It's also mentioned in sister location when Hand Unit says Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is the first restaurant, says that it was closed due to an oil leak. But in reality, it was the 5 murders from Mr. Afton, a.k.a. William Afton, a.k.a. Pink Guy. So that makes a lot of sense. And then, in the next timeline is Fnaf 2, which takes place in 1987, the Bite of 87. Fnaf 4 and sister location is the Bite of 83. Alright, there's 2 of them. This is the most famous. Now, I actually figured out when Fnaf 1 takes place, because 1 equals, so I managed to figure out when Fnaf 1 takes place. So when you get Mike's paycheck, which is November 12th and November 13th XX, there's only a couple of years that follow in that date, which is 1993, 1999, and 2004. But if you play on the first night again in Fnaf 1, you hear a phone guy saying, talking about the animatronics and how they're singing the same songs, and they get irritated. Like 20 years after Fnaf 2, it takes place in 2007. That equals Fnaf 1. It makes much more sense. Like, he talks about in the first game, in the first night, he says, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. If you don't listen to it very closely, you hear it. Now, Fnaf 3 takes place in 2023, 30 years after this whole event. And plus, Fnaf 3 also mentions sister location, how it was shut down. But those are just pre-recordings of Purple Guy, and hinting that the next game would be sister location after Fnaf 4. Then we have Fnaf 6. Now, Scott has not put a release date for that. So we know that it's going to take place after Fnaf 3. It makes much more sense. I also added the years when it happened, and that's the year. That's what I got. 2007 equals Fnaf 1. So if this is the whole timeline, and we don't know what year this takes place, I feel like it's going to take place in the same year, but a couple of weeks, months after, like Fnaf 4 and sister location. It makes sense. Hi. And I'm also joined by the bird. But if this is how far we've gotten, right? If this is how far we've gotten, then hear me out there. Then Scott has to open the box. If this is the correct timeline, which I feel like is the correct timeline, then he has to open the box. We don't know what exactly is in the box. Maybe it could be the Fredbear plushie, but it's not. Maybe it could be a Spring Bonnie plushie, or maybe not. Maybe it could be a coffin, which I hope to God it's not. But he did say if any of us gets the timeline correct, then he will open the secret box and tell us what's inside. And thankfully, he is taking a break on Fnaf 6 because it's canceled. But that's about it. That's how far the timeline goes. And I feel like FNAF 6 may be the end of FNAF, the FNAF franchise, which I'm hoping it is. But that's pretty much about it. Like, it all makes sense now. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. And as always, Gingers,
may the force be with you. Always.